She let me try it out personally, and I was like, oh my gosh, this like is insane. Like I tried out both of the beds, and it was like going into alternative realm, but not in a creepy way. You know what I mean? Like, and she actually did some remote body work because my son couldn't come that day, and he ended up going seizure free for a little while. I put multiple people on the bed. I think the first time I put my son on the bed, he did really well. The second time he kind of went a little rogue, but obviously as we spoke, he's got like a crazy central nervous system. So we have to go slow with him. Can't like dive into like the 30 minutes or 45 just because he's central nervous system is like basically on fire, you know? And so if you understand that, sometimes you have to go relatively slow with some people like that. But I mean, I put all my kids, I have 5 kids, I put them all on it. I
God bless you.
definitely feel amazing on it. I mean, if you think about like, you know, trauma trapping and stuff like that, the bed's amazing. You can feel it working. I had a friend come over who's got a child who has seizures as well, and he's got like severe CP and a mutation. And you could just literally like see him calming down because his limbs, arms and legs and stuff are like always active just because of all the situations he's got going on. But he was literally like laying on top of her, and they were both like chilling on it. It was so cute. And then she said he did really good for a while. So, and then my son loved going on it. He just, I think it just heightened him a little bit, and we're in between moving, so I haven't gotten him back on it. So hopefully in the next couple of days I can set it back up. But I mean, a goal of mine is definitely to just get as many people on it as possible, because I understand the science behind it just because I've dove into this myself. And then, you know, listening to you and all your research and reading your books and then going on it myself, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's full circle. You can understand it and do it and feel it, and it's amazing. And so, you know, I'd like to get a lot more like moms and kids on it and stuff like that, just because I get what they're going through, you know? So it's definitely amazing technology. I appreciate everything you're doing, and always appreciate listening to you because I get all the stuff you talk about and I love it. And so I like to piece it all together, not just do it. I like to know what's going, you know what I mean? Like I like to know why it's happening, what's going on, and then experience it for myself, because I'm like, oh, it's just awesome on all levels, you know? So definitely looking forward to doing some sort of practice in the future, like alternative healing, because I have a lot of things and a lot of knowledge. I technically don't have, you know, certifications, but I don't know, you know, I've gone all over the United States for help for my son, and the most help he gets is from me. You're doing research and trying things, you know, so I know you can appreciate that. So thank you. I'm happy to hop on these calls when I can and just see what everybody else is doing and learn more knowledge from you. So it's definitely an amazing tool.
Well, today is the tool that we share about you and your son and your family. I mean, first of all, I want to be in full transparency. What I think is interesting with Laura, and I need to make this comment because I'm in this reprogramming process where I would say it's not a bed, it's not a couch, it's not a chair, it's not a mat, it's none of these things. It's a vibe system. It's its own thing. And so people call bed all the time.
Yeah, I shouldn't say that. I didn't know what people like on here. Like I totally get like
Laura,
when
it's
people.
okay. Laura, it's
I
okay.
talk to people and they're like,
it's
it's a bed.
totally
I'm like, no, it's not a bed, but
it's totally fine. But this is my point. It's almost like a joke at this point, and it's really funny because we're reprogramming, and I've actually catch myself like, okay, sure, just let people call it whatever they want to call it. But then I also go in and reprogram where we are with things. So I lovingly always, when it gets brought up to me, like, hey, let me make a change. And what I find to be really interesting is I have people in our organization now, they are referring to them as systems. And so I got a message about like, hey, she's calling it a bed. So I was like, okay, I'm going to make a comment about that. But at the end of the day, it's not even about whatever it is. It's about a delivery system that we're working with your family and you. 2 parts. In full disclosure, you know, it's easy to talk up here and talk on stage and talk about everybody about all these miraculous healings that we have, okay? And all these things. And hey, this person got better after this. And look at all these testimonials. But you know what? There's something about being in the healthcare system, about acknowledging people that may not be getting that same level of results. And that's really what I want to bring to attention. You have how many seizures was your son experiencing on a daily basis?
Oh my gosh. Collectively, he's had over 60,000 mainly grand mal. So I mean, at one point he had like 120 grand mals in a day.
That's ridiculous.
Insane. Yeah,
Yeah,
ridiculous. Insane.
exactly. So we're sitting there now. I want to live you, and we have some doctors on this group here today, and I want to share with you my experience with seizures, which was something I treated kind of regularly when I was in practice. And they're scary.
Oh
They're
my
it's one
God,
of those
terrifying.
it's one of those conditions that you feel that are scary. But we found them would resolve pretty easily with just rebalancing the nervous system. And I was
Yeah.
like, wow. And it wasn't like a theory. It was just all I did was apply my principles that I was using, usually with my energy vials, and then into biofeedback systems. And we would have like, hey, my child is having these many, now they're having half, or they haven't had one in a week, or something like that. And I'm like, wow, like what did I do? Like I didn't do like the seizure protocol. What I did was I balanced their food. We balanced their emotions. We balanced their organs. And these were the things that we did. And next thing you know, they got better. And so when Laura came to me and talked about this, like, okay, that's the recipe. And that's what we're gonna. And so I know that her son's has been having challenges, and she's messaged me, and I was giving her different protocols. And then as much as I do call you and talk to you, I mean, it's been a while since we've spoken. And sometimes I just lose track of, I can't keep track of
Oh
everything that's
yeah,
going on.
for sure.
So, but I'm happy to see you on this call. And there's a couple things. One, we're focused on your son, 60,000, 160,000, whatever in a year. I mean, what kind of numbers is that? He's living more in a seizure than not.
Right.
And so upregulated nervous system, but then you also are a mother of 5 children, right?
Correct.
I mean, okay, anybody that has 5 kids needs to own a Vibe in their house, period. Okay,
Oh,
guys? Anybody
100%.
that's got like 5 kids, like, I don't care if you have seizures or not. Yeah.
100%.
I mean, just get them. Whatever. Anybody,
Yeah.
we could just market to like people that have like lots of families, get a Vibe, put them on. And all the benefits that you have of having five kids, even just for your personal knowledge, just for your personal health and well-being and mental abilities. If anybody needs to get on the Vibe for at least 15 minutes a day, it's you and your family. And then you bring it on with your kids. If they're freaking out, timeouts, it's a built-in timeout system with the Vibes. But I'd like to kind of get back to maybe talking more about your son and about these challenging protocols, because it's like, hey, get on energy clearing. Okay, that what I recommend for seizures: energy clearing, cell cleanser, spectrum. All the normal candidates that I know that they've tried, and that because we've had these conversations, and now we're still having these kind of things. So how do you upregulate, or how do you down regulate a nervous system? um I would even recommend having something more like you turning the vibration way down and
Yes.
shortening the time.
Yes.
Because what I want to state to you guys is, one thing I know for sure is that this technology works, period. Technology works, period. It has to work.
Agreed.
So now if we're not getting the results, why is the body, not responding in this way? Or what kind of over time can get better? And there's a lot of chiropractors here. And, one thing that I noticed is, in the chiropractic world, what they say is, hey, if you have neck pain, back pain, headaches, go get adjusted. Hey, and then as soon as you go in to see a chiropractor, say, hey, how you feeling? Oh, my neck's better, my back's better, or oh, it came back, whatever. And you're always in this conversation about pain. And so next thing you know, you get them out of pain, and you also get your patient. The patient is now gone, you know, because, oh, no pain, no patient, right? But the bigger thing about it is about longevity and removing spinal interference in the absence of pain and symptoms. And what I found was I never went to a chiropractor a day in my life until I decided I was going to go to chiropractic school. And then obviously getting adjusted through chiropractic school. And then after chiropractic for 16 years on a regular basis, what I found is it's really helped me in my life. And a lot of things that went from, like, let's say my life was here, chiropractic has really created space in my life where there's a lot more space. So when something does happen, I can heal quicker. I can kind of roll through it better. And these are all good things. So ongoing care, same with the vibe, getting on the vibe. I mean, listen, I don't want to throw your son into grand mal seizures, you know? So if that's happening, I would never sit here on this call or on the phone with you and say, just keep putting him on. It's going to help. It's going to help. No, I would not do that. But if we can find a place where he can find some kind of access point um, into his physiology and just start playing with that space, because over time, I know even if it's a grain of sand, that will eventually turn into 2 to 4 to 8 to 16 to, you know, expansion.
For sure.
And so that's what I invited. And even if he can't lay on the vibe, just you playing the vibe in the space with harmonic resonance is only going to impact the overall outcome of human physiology just the same.
Right. And yeah, we've done that. And as well, you know, we're always doing, you know, which when you were saying like, oh, if this isn't working, what are the people doing? It's like, well, you
Yeah,
have to make sure, you know, you're eating good food, you're drinking water, you know, like collectively doing all the elements, you know, because it's like, let's say you're eating bad food and you're getting on the vibe and you're like, oh, it doesn't work. Well, food's energy, you know, like that's just what I
exactly.
thought. You know, my son eats 100% organic food. Like I'm doing so much. So I just like think this is like another tool to like connect it because we're doing like all things great, you know what I mean? And just like you're saying, like how you have different protocols, it's like, okay, well, which one is, you know, which one are you needing? You know, maybe you did 5, but you need 6 or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like finding
exactly.
that, unlocking that key component or whatever.
You know, another thing I'd like to put out, okay, because at the Rad Fest, and I'm not sure if Lynn or Dr. Deb, if you saw the little boy River, if you guys saw Little River. So Little River is a very interesting story. Essentially, I think River's now, like, I'm not sure how old River is now, 4 or 5, something. Um, but he drowned. He drowned in the bathtub, and his mother wasn't paying attention and drowned. And then they brought River back, and River is uh he's like a vegetable essentially. And they brought him over and they put him on the vibe. And I had a lot of feelings around what I saw, to be honest with you. A lot of emotions, a lot of judgments, a lot of things that just was feeling about what do I think about what I see going on here. And then the father was so committed to uh to River getting better. He's like, oh my God, I've never seen River kick his legs this way. It's like, I've never seen so much activity than with on the vibe. And I'm like, wow, like I'm barely seeing anything, but he sees it, and he was super inspired. And I'm like, great. So I said to myself, what do I want to listen to? Same thing. What about energy clearing? What about these things? And you know what protocol I put River on? Abundance, beta brainwaves, and I turned the vibration all the way up. And I'm like, you know what? Let me just, what I'm telling you, Laura, is like maybe these like subtle ones, maybe we just need to shake the hell out of your son. You know, maybe we need to go beta and sledgehammer him. Maybe that's what his nervous system needs. Because I sat there and looked at River and I said, that kid needs to be, because the kid's not dead. The kid's alive, you know? So now he just needs to get like blood flow back to his brain. You know, he needs to regenerate his body. He needs to get like shaken out of shock and trauma. I feel like when I look at him, I feel like he's still trapped in trauma. That's what I see when I see Little River. So, you know, what we're looking for, what's the worst case scenario with your son? Let's try, you know, what does Einstein say? What's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different outcome.
Yeah, well, I never do that. That's for sure.
You never do what?
I don't stick in one space. That's for sure. But yeah, no,
So
for sure. I wanna...
try blasting him on another protocol, you know?
Yeah.
So, and let's see what happens. So these are some of the teaching advices that I really want to give you guys about, you know, how do we navigate through some of these tough cases. Is like, this is from Linwood. I've never had to go all the way up on the system output, which is impressive as far. Well, yeah, because really it's all in the music. But you know what? People have different nervous systems and people have different experiences. And you know what? You also have it in a healing space. Like we take this to a room with competing, we're like, you know, hundreds of people in a room. So different ways of working with it. So I'd love to kind of open this up. There's about 20 minutes left on this call, and I'm going to keep it to an hour because I'm in the middle of a conference and we just broke for lunch. But I'd love to open the floor for questions, comments, or concerns about anything I spoke about today, anything that might, if you were on the webinar that you had questions about. I know we have some of our new VIBE owners here, Dr. Deb and Lynn. If you guys, Kathleen Adams, she's also one of our new VIBE owners that hasn't gotten a VIBE yet. I think she's still waiting for it. Wait, did you get your VIBE, Kathleen? We spoke. I don't remember if you got a 3.1 or 3.2.
I got the same one that Don and Melinda got, the second
3.2.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think I got a text that it's just coming, so very excited.
Excellent. Welcome to the vibroacoustic evolution revolution.
Thank you.
I'd love to open up the call for questions, comments, concerns, reflections, any of these things. Yes, Laura Pyre is raising her hand. And I always acknowledge people that raise their hand. See, we learned something in school, right?
Right, we did. So I just wanted to run by you, unless you just think it's, you know, because his central nervous system is so heightened, but like I've taken him to different chiropractors, even like Nanuka chiropractor,
Yep.
if I'm saying that right, which is supposed to be, you know, like basically doing some massage techniques to kind of like align yourself. And he always, outside of one time with the alternative one, just has like massive amounts of seizures. And so I don't know if you just thought that's just because his central nervous system is so heightened or what, but like, yeah, I'm literally like afraid to ever take him because it's too scary.
What's your probiotic gut? Is he on any medication? He said he's eating all organic. I mean, I'm assuming
he eats 100% organic, home cooked, only grass-fed beef. I've done a lot of my own testing to find out like he's got a P450 liver enzyme that's insufficient. He definitely has some gut issues that I've been working on. He's got like histamine intolerance, a lot of stuff that stems from the gut for sure. He does still take a medication that I'm weaning him off of. So obviously I definitely think that works against us. But so he's got multi-system dysfunction that I'm working on for sure.
Yes. Okay. So number one thing about probiotics, and I love coming to these medical conferences and really dropping in with the functional medicine people. And I was having a conversation with a new doctor that I met, and we were talking about probiotics, and there's something that nobody ever does. Okay. And it's vital. And you need to mega dose probiotics. And now there's two issues with probiotics. Most probiotics, this is a medical term, suck.
No, that's facts.
Yeah,
that's 100% facts.
Yeah, most probiotics suck. And even if you get good, I will share a little story. I was working with Tony Robbins, And one of the big things is he had some gut issues, and we kept testing him for probiotics. We couldn't find him a good probiotic. And even though they were really good and they were coming from all these reputable sources, and everybody's like, oh my God, this is, and they know everybody. They only work with the top.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, they're like, oh, well, this doctor has this formulation, and I muscle tested it. I'm like, it's not working for Tony. And
Yeah.
finally we found one, and then you have to mega dose it. So, but do you? Only if we muscle test and your body says yes. How many do we
Right.
mega dose? What the body says. So what I would invite you to do is, if you want me to ever test your probiotics, just call me when and we can go through, and I can to see if it's good. What's your son's name, by the way? I keep calling your son.
Yeah, his name's Lavari, and we use Megaspore, which is, I follow this guy, Kieran Biome. He's like a total nerd into the gut microbiome, and
Yeah.
I don't know, his probiotic it's pretty good. I don't know, I study a lot about probiotics and supplements, and so I
But
really
it's not
like
about them being good. It's about if they work for
right for you, like,
fun.
which is everything, right? Which is why muscle testing is good. He did go seizure free going on there. I haven't mega dosed him with that one. That one is really strong, and he will have seizures on tons of probiotics.
Do you have um do you have it with you?
I don't actually.
Okay. So
I don't think I have that one. I do have a different one.
no, I mean, we'll talk about it
That
offline. I think we'll talk about it
okay.
offline. But what I want to find out, and I'm not saying go mega dose Lavarius. I'm not
Yeah.
saying that. I'm saying that we would test and see if that's relevant.
Correct.
And so I wouldn't just say, hey, go take 10 probiotics. No, I only put you on what you need. So
Yeah.
so that's the point I'm trying to make. And
Yeah.
so the other aspect of this is some lymphatic drainage, minerals, like the basic fundamentals of getting the body back into balance.
For sure.
And so, and then we add in the vibes, and then we add in these other things. But yeah, we might want to try abundance, blasting them out in the other direction, take them to space, do some also go to escape some of
Okay.
these alternative protocols that might not be so therapeutic in nature, that are more grounding. That might
Yeah.
be something we want to try as well too. It might be something completely unrelated. So
Right.
that's
For sure.
that's my recommendation. Let's see, who else? Hello, Dr. Dana, welcome to our call.
Hey, Steven.
And you asked a question about the webinar, and I said I posted it in the owner's chat. Were you able to find it?
I got it. I think I got it on YouTube. We have
Okay,
it up there already. So
great. And then who else? Rosie? Rose? You had your
Yeah,
hand. Okay.
I did. I wanted to know, do you recommend a person doing neuroregeneration on a daily basis?
Ask the question one more time.
Would you recommend a person that feels like they need it for focus to use neuroregeneration on a daily basis?
Yes.
Okay.
You can't, I mean, listen, if it's hard, if you can get on the Vibe every day, Vibe every day. You're running a center. If they want to come in every day and you want to sell them a package on it, great. If they're getting on every day, they should probably buy a Vibe.
I use it for myself every morning
Oh.
before breakfast.
Perfect. So you already bought a Vibe. You have 3 Vibes.
Yes.
All right. So that's great. I mean, it's just like anything else. Some people are going to get and jump into a cold plunge. Some people are going to get on the Vibe. For me, my short little stint back in my home in Tulum, Mexico, which I was so blessed to be. I have a whole healing space and in a room next door to my bedroom. So I wake up usually close to sunrise.
Mm-hmm.
And I love sleeping. I love because my phone's not ringing and nobody's texting me. And you know what also I love about the Vibe?
Yeah.
I can just go put on headphones and eye pillow on and just disappear for whatever that time is going to be. So, we can, that's a thing as well too. Okay. So any other questions, comments, concerns?
I got one question for you. It's a kind of I know everything is a much bigger picture than what I'm going to ask you, but we do a lot of GLP-1 agonists. So there's a peptide. I don't buy the drugs. We're gonna compound it. There's rumors and there's a little bit of research talking about thyroid issues, thyroid nodules, and that kind of thing. Which of the treatments should I sell the package when I'm going to use those weight loss? Because you're going to do them elsewhere anyway.
What's the best for thyroid?
Give them iodine. Yeah, for preventing nodules or thyroid cancer.
I mean, really, it comes back to the same thing. I think a lot of cancer. And okay, so let's go into functional medicine. Let's go into functional endocrinology. If we know, I mean, how many people give a little thumbs up or a thumbs down if you, okay, this is a twofold question. So it's going to be a yes or a no twice. Who's heard of endocrinology? Yes or no? Give it a little yes or no in the chat, a little Y or yes in the chat. Give me a little chat. Yes. Everybody's heard of endocrinology. Anybody? So now there's what they call clinic. Yes, there we go. Clinical endocrinology, which is, hey, everything is everything is sorry, see, there's other people here doing podcasts. There's a bunch. I want to take you guys on a little tour around here after we do this, but I answer this question. Everything is like, hey, your hormones are off, take this hormone, take progesterone, take all these different things. That's what we call clinical endocrinology. Functional endocrinology says that basically everything in endocrine, well, first of all, everything, the endocrine system is self-regulated through the nervous system and through its environment. And really, there's some really cool stuff about how you have your chakras, or each correspond to a different endocrine organ. So it's actually this biochemical bridge to your chakras. If you guys are not familiar with this, we could talk about it at another call. But functional endocrinology says that basically all endocrinology disruption or disturbances stems from alteration with cortisol. Wait, cortisol or insulin? Cortisol, and has a secondary effect to cortisol. Second effect to cortisol. The second effect to cortisol, and cortisol is the chemical that's released in the presence of stress. And so from that influence your blood sugar. And so this is where we're dealing with your pancreas and diabetes and blood sugar regulation. So these are all primary aspects. So talking about thyroid, then we look at thyroid as a secondary aspect, or actually there's a secondary aspect into the brain, the pituitary. And then the thyroid, they say, is secondary to all these things. That's secondary to these aspects. So in my personal opinion, if I was going to be giving people recommendations on thyroid, I'm bringing it down to how do we re-regulate the cortisol levels of the body and balance the blood sugar levels of the body. And how would we do that with the V.I.B.E? Well, first of all, why is there cortisol? So then you have to ask your question, why is there cortisol stressed? And what's the cellular trauma that is usually leading to these things? So there could be something emotional. So we could start from a traumatic perspective. Energy clearing is a good place to start. Also, if we're going to get into a deeper aspect of inflammation, that would be working with cell cleanser, brain nervous system balancing, the spectrum. So those top three are really good. I would really work on bringing the body into more of a deeper parasympathetic nervous system switch. And so with that being said, we can work with Sonic-Ceuticals Volume 1, and we could do things like spinal descending, which is just spinal frequencies and the connective tissue matrix. So that's a really good one to work with. Stem cell, where else am I going? Universal Phi. Universal Phi is a protocol for stem cell activation. Go into cellular attunement and look at what emotional relationships might be out of balance. So I really feel that working the body into an automatic state of self-regulation is key. And thyroid, I don't have a thyroid specific protocol, but I can tell you that if we access the global endocrine system through the protocols that I just said, you're gonna start seeing changes in your thyroid.
Thanks.
Do you have any thoughts about what I just said, Dr. Dana? And Dr. Dana, when I met him, he's a thyroid specialist. That's his area of expertise.
Well, I'm giving a paper on Saturday about, it's a long story, but yeah, you're in homeopathy. To me, you're in homeopathy, because that's the only other energetic medicine I've ever done, which is completely different than anything functional. So I try to blend them together if I can. And now I'm trying to understand your system. And it does supersede everything, because the energy always supersedes everything, but I don't know how it integrates yet. Well, just keep listening.
Okay, I feel that I don't know. I mean, this is homeopathic, but I feel like my principles that we're talking about are more functional in nature. But maybe we could have a talk about that offline, which I totally welcome.
Cool.
Any other questions? We have a few minutes left on this call. So yeah, if we don't have any other questions, then let's go for a little tour, shall we? You guys want to see Disrupt Fest? Let's go check it out. We're here at the Renaissance. By the way, I do a lot of travel. One of my favorite hotels around that I stay at is the Renaissance. They're always different and very unique. And I just like the word like Renaissance. So this is the lobby. They got this really cool stuff here. And yeah, we're in downtown Atlanta. I've never been in downtown Atlanta before. And
that's where my layover is good. That's where I'm going right now.
Oh, well, if you want to top over, we're 30 minutes away. So here, you guys want to see our vibe zone? Check it out. We got these signs here, vibe zone.
Oh, nice.
And you know what I love about the vibe zone? Check this out, guys. You're going to love this. It's right next to the ATM machine. So if anybody wants to buy a Vibe, they can just go cash money, right? See Dr. Deb? So right next to, we like, okay, where's in case we get more Dr. Debs, we can just, it's on the other side of the sign. So that was good vibes. Okay, so we got somebody vibing right now. And let's see, we have, Intelligent Threads. These guys were at the Rad Fest as well. And so here's our guy here. We're in kind of a little bit of a weird corner. Oh, you guys want to say hi to here's our vibe call. Here we are.
Hey, VIBETRIBE.
Okay, here, close this out here. Everybody, I could do this call because they are holding down the fort. Here's Fab Vibes, Fabiola, and here's Patrick. What do you guys want to talk about your experience so far this first day?
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. A lot of people were able to come through and do, I'll stand here so it's not so much light, and do, little demos, and even like, 5 or 10 minutes, people are getting a lot of, pulling a lot out of the experience. So that's really cool. To have so much traffic coming through.
Cool.
And, I met Patrick in Costa Rica, and him and his wife, they have, how many kids do you have?
4.
Okay. Laura Pyers, wait, say that, how many kids you have?
4.
We have a new rule that anybody that has like more than 2 kids, or actually Laura has 5 kids. We're like, you have to own a Vibe. So if you have like 4 kids, same difference. So
they have 2 vibes, 4 kids, 2 vibes.
Yeah, they have 4 kids, 2 vibes. So this is how it goes. So we just met, and then he's in Maryland, and he got an airplane and came down, and this is the first time we've done a show and together, and he's doing a great job. I'm really happy you're here.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then Fabiola,
Hi.
this is our Latina ninja Vibe owner from Venezuela.
Living in San Diego, California.
Yep. And tell us about what you're excited about. What's been your experience here?
It's been amazing. I mean, there's a lot of people very surprised about the experience with the Vibe, and it's very excited to see their faces before and after.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So yeah, so we're here, and this is Disrupt Fest, and we're excited about really disrupting, because there's nothing more disruptive. like people put stuff in their mouth and they put sprays in their mouth and you can buy it every 30 days, buy a new one, throw it out, buy something new. We're disrupting that. This is an app. It's not pharmaceuticals or nutraceuticals or infoceuticals. They're Sonic-Ceuticals. They're sound frequency programs for clearing cellular memory and releasing shock and trauma out of your nervous system, space, and being. And that's what's exciting about this. Oh, look, I think there's more people that want to vibe.
Yeah.
So that's, yeah, we're doing a live community call right now. You want to be on a part of it? I don't know. We don't know these guys, but they're about to vibe. What's exciting to you about getting on the vibe?
Trying it out. I don't know too much about it.
Do you know anything about it?
No, I
I'm
don't.
Dr. Stephen Schwartz. I'm the
Hello.
founder and creator
Nice to meet
of the
you.
technology. What's your name?
Krista Duar.
Was it
Krista Duar.
Krista
Yep.
Duar? That's a beautiful name.
Thank you.
And you are
Charlie.
Charlie. What are you guys? Are you guys
I'm
doctors,
nurse practitioner.
nurse practitioners?
I help her.
Awesome, amazing. Where do you guys practice?
Iowa.
Yeah.
Oh, in
Dubuque,
Iowa. Amazing. So what's been interesting at your? Do you mind if I totally put you on live?
Yeah, if you want to tell us a little bit about it,
Okay.
that would be wonderful.
So this is called the. Oh, thank you. This is it's called the V.I.B.E, and it stands for Vibrational Individualized Body Enhancement System. It's full body music activated vibrational sound technology, and we design it for clearing cellular memory, releasing shock and trauma, and bringing the body into a almost instantaneous parasympathetic nervous system response. And because we know that if your body's in parasympathetic, we're optimizing biochemistry for healing. And so whatever you're doing, if we're starting at that baseline, we're in a great spot.
Yeah, all those things sound great.
All those things sound great. Well, and this is my book. This is my book that I wrote on the whole topic. Before this book was a book, it was a clinic for 16 years, reversing chronic illness using sound, light, frequency, and vibration. And then we've created all these different programs, Sonic-Ceuticals, for different things. Here's our app. It's weird. We're like kind of back and forth here. But these are the different programs. This is great for PTSD and releasing shock and trauma, emotional bouncing, physical. We have 9 different ones for clearing physical healing aspects. This is an anti-inflammatory detox program. This is for brain nervous system balancing. And then this is for envisioning the future. How do you want to future pace into a new dimensional reality? These are interdimensional portals for your living space. Talk about disruptive technology, like the medicine of the future is about an interdimensional portal. What if you could unzip who you are right now and rezip you into a new dimensional space? That sounds crazy, right? Not really. I write about it in the book, and we actually have new PubMed studies that are out that has been shared with me recently that are supporting the access point of fascia in the living connective tissue matrix, which is what this is all about, of how it can indirectly influence photonic emission with electron release and sound. That's the whole premise of why I created this technology many, many years ago. So that's the background.
Is it within the bed?
What's that?
Is it within the bed?
So within this, the whole bed, and they're not Linwood. We have a whole thing. It's not a bed. It's not a couch. It's not a chair. No, don't be sorry. You don't know. I've never even met you before. So please don't apologize. But we're just having this talk here. It's not a bed. It's not a couch. It's not a chair. It's not a mat. It's a vibe system. It's more than there is this whole thing vibrates to any of these programs.
Okay.
And it comes with this amp, it comes with the headphones, it comes with the metal frame, it comes, it's a complete system for activation. You guys want to vibe?
Sure. I'll give it a try.
Okay, so we're gonna end this call and we're gonna get these two vibing. And this is Fabiola. Oh, can you get her signed in too? Okay. And by the way, here's how we're doing things. Just from a like we have everybody sign in on these these little signups, and then this takes them into hi there, sir. Can you want to talk about your experience? This is my Vibe community, by the way. We do a
Your Vibe
Thursday call. We
Uh,
have a bunch of people here. What's your name?
Phil Gilman.
Phil Gilman. Nice
Yeah.
to meet you. You just got off the Vibe for the first time.
Yeah.
What was your experience like?
It was very relaxing. Yeah, the vibration of the table and then the music, how it moved around. I think it affected brainwaves, and I guess the vagus nerve. I feel relaxed. Yeah.
So it's interesting because there's what's your discipline? What do you?
Well, I'm a chiropractor.
Oh,
Yeah.
awesome. I'm a chiropractor also.
Oh, okay.
Nice. It's interesting talking about the vagus nerve. 'Cause it's a big thing, you know, because first of all, it's a very interesting nerve
Mhm.
because it's a cranial nerve and it goes through, has connections through every single organ in your body. It goes all the way down, you know, to your bladder, you know?
Yeah.
Got everything involved. So it's a very long nerve that stems from your brain, but it induces parasympathetic. But I wonder about like that concept about the vagus nerve.
Mhm.
If it's actual vagus nerve like when you're stimulating the vagus nerve or activating, if you're actually stimulating the actual nerve, or if we're actually working with the connective tissue that's inducing a parasympathetic
That
activation.
could be, yeah, sure.
So this is one of the, and that's the foundation of the work that we're working with is vibrating. All of our music has specialized programs with mathematics for the connective tissue. And then it's body hypnosis. And then we have, it's layered with 5 to 7 layers of different frequencies for different physiological effects.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sounds good to me.
Thank you. So we'd love to have you be part of our Vibe community.
Oh, okay, Vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So here we are. Thank you, Doc.
you betcha.
Any other questions, comments, concerns about anything? You want to say hi to our, here's our community. There's about,
They're on there right now.
yeah, we have about 10 of us on here right now.
Right now?
Yeah, all
Uh,
live. This is a live.
I don't know, you caught me off guard.
I know. Thank you. Welcome to my world. This is what we do.
Yeah, all right.
But anyhow, how's Disrupt Fest? What's the most interesting thing you've seen or heard so far?
Well, so far it's been, I think there've been 3 people and, I go to a lot of seminars and there's some stuff that I haven't heard of. And I thought I'd heard most of it.
Who's standing out to you?
Well, the last guy.
Dr. Todd?
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. Talking about the methylation DNA test that can measure your age. That was unique, I think.
Yeah, for the epigenetic testing.
Yeah.
I want to do more with that as well too.
And then also the a certain type of stem cell, which sounds like it's different than
The V cells.
the others that I've heard of.
Mhm.
And of course, Fab, you know, he's always an interesting guy.
Fab Mancini, the ex-president of Parker. Where did you go to college?
Northwestern.
Oh, okay.
But I used to go to Parker seminars
Of course.
a lot.
I was telling them that I adjusted him right before he went on stage.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, and I've done that at a Parker seminar too. So I've now adjusted him twice before he goes on stage. So
Yes, yeah.
he's an amazing man.
Yeah.
And then the guy that opened up the hospital for
Oh, yeah.
Gil.
Yeah. Gerard. Yeah.
Yeah, they hired the Ritz-Carlton CEO to build a hospital. That's disruption, everybody.
Well, that was crazy because I live close to Mayo Clinic and, you know, it's very,
Not that.
well, it's very clinical and cold. And I've been down there a couple of times visiting people and, you know, they may do some wonderful things there, but it's not a rich hotel.
Exactly. And that's important.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
All right. You betcha.
Thanks for vibing with us.
You bet.
Okay, guys, we're going to sign off for this week. And yeah, this is what it's all about. Oh, actually, here, let's do one more. I'm gonna do one more fun thing. Check it out. I'm gonna take a picture with all you guys. I'll post this in our group. This is our live little selfie group right next to our booth. Have a great week, everybody. Thanks for vibing with me. And we'll go ahead and post in the chat anything that's going on. We're going to continue to disrupt the system live from Disrupt Fest. And I'll be in Texas on Sunday. Okay. Ciao.